Liverpool agree a £110 million done deal for Moises Caicedo. The player has been convinced to also join Liverpool. Chelsea have led this race. Many of the Chelsea journalists all day today claimed they were still leading. The player hadn't been convinced to join Liverpool, but the power of the Merseyside outfit, the pull of Jurgen Klopp and FSG putting their hands in their pocket. It is a done deal. The medical will happen tomorrow. He could even be available to play at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea on Sunday. This is maybe one of the most significant deals in Premier League football history. 110 million, a British transfer record smashed by Jurgen Klopp, a player taken out of the grasp of Chelsea on the eve of their opening Premier League game against each other. You couldn't write it. This is Oscar-winning level drama. Hit the like button, subscribe to the Football Terrace, and you've got to say Liverpool are back. Got to applaud Liverpool. They had to behave this way. They could not go into the start of the season with no DM. I don't think Lavia is brilliant. But Caicedo, I know he's around the same age, but Caicedo is just so mature for his age. This deal is nothing short of sensational. Nothing short of sensational. Yes, it's a lot of money. And with a £110 million deal comes a huge amount of expectation, a colossal amount of pressure. And Chelsea fans will be the biggest rival applying that pressure week in, week out, day in, day out. But you know what? I'm not changing my tune just because this is Liverpool. Caicedo is already a star player and is only going to get better. The majority of us got this wrong, including most Liverpool fans we spoke to in the last 24 hours about this deal. They felt as though, yes, they may bid, but what was probably going to happen is that Lavia would go Liverpool and Caicedo would end up at Chelsea. Not many people saw this coming. Only 3 hours ago. By the way, I was asleep. Look, bedhead. Do you know what I'm saying? I was sleeping. I was like, I'm going to go to bed, get up tomorrow. The Kane news broke just as I was going to sleep. Thought, let's see what happens. But most people got that wrong. Most journalists were saying, Chelsea leading. And we had this conversation on the Terrace on the Top 6 show only 7, 8 hours ago. What about Liverpool's pull? And you know what? Dom Hussein, you got to shout him out for this. He said it's the money that will let us down, not our pull. And Liverpool not only have spent more than Chelsea on this player, £10 million more, but they've completely turned the guy's head. Now, we knew with Caicedo, and I said this earlier, that of course he'd be interested in playing for Liverpool, one of the most historic and successful clubs in the world, a team currently in a position to actually win more than Chelsea in the contemporary sense, the best manager in the world. Yes, Chelsea have got very ambitious owners. Chelsea are also a massive club. And I still think, listen, if Chelsea would have bid the 110 and got their bid accepted as well, maybe things would have been different. But I didn't believe for a single moment that Liverpool had no chance of signing him. That just didn't seem plausible or realistic as far as I was personally concerned. And you know me, I'm as fair as a day is long, and everything else. The other intriguing element to this is I really want to hear from all of the FSG out brigade. They need to come and chat. I want to know what they're thinking now. I want to know, what they believe. Because again, look, I'm glazed out no matter what they do, because it isn't just about the spending of money. It's the overall running of the football club. I want to gauge their opinions. I only really care about their opinions on that. I'm not going to condemn them, because I've been there where I've moaned about my club and then we drop big money on somebody. May not change your feelings overall. I'm going to go to some of your comments that are coming in here, but as I've stated already, and I'm going to read this out again here, £110 million. And as far as I'm aware, there's no other transfer. I think Enzo Fernandez is slightly less than that. I think it's 105 million, maybe 106, 107. This is a British transfer record as far as I am aware. Absolutely impeccable piece of business. JB here says, damn, I knew there was a reason why I was doing an all-nighter drinking some Scotch Bells. Lovely jubbly. You got out of bed. Love your work ethic. And I was laying there and I'm like, I can't wait until the morning for this. I've got to get up and speak to the Terrace crowd. They're going to want to stream. Get out of bed. Listen, I'll lay in more in the morning. It'll be all right. Darren here says, made up. Don't care about the money. Couldn't care less. Caicedo is in our lineup. It's all that matters. We were only in the race for 12 hours. And you know what? This is what it comes down to. You shouldn't care about the money. If you believe in the player, you shouldn't care. Now, if it goes wrong and he doesn't live up to the expectations, you take it on the chin, you say it didn't work out, and you move on. Remember, our football clubs can afford to spend this amount of money. They just can. And I listen, this isn't a dig at Liverpool, and I really hope Liverpool fans start listening to me a little bit more. When you said you couldn't afford Jude Bellingham, I told you it was a lie. It was PR because he chose Real Madrid. Yes, you've sold 50, 60 million pounds worth of talent this summer, but you've also spent 70 odd on Szoboszlai. So it's about 170 million pounds plus the 35. So 200 million you spent on your midfield this summer. That's amazing. Liverpool have money. Liverpool fans, stop listening to the BS and demand your club spends like a gigantic club in the Premier League with our money can afford to spend. There's no austerity for top-level Premier League teams. They are super rich. Terry, this morning I taught you were F with my feelings, but now this is feeling good. You are the first to break the news. You are the GOAT. Well, look, obviously Ornstein and Fabrizio and many others broke the news officially. I'm obviously reacting from a YouTube point of view, but yeah, look, impeccable business indeed. There'll be a lot of Liverpool fans waking up in the morning with no idea that this has happened, and we'll be having the great listen. And I don't want to see it. You all know I'm a Man United fan. I don't like Liverpool Football Club. But I'm as fair as the day is long, and I am unbiased, and this is a phenomenal piece of business. It's an impeccable way for your football club to behave. And like I've been saying to Arsenal fans all summer, all those years where I said you were like not spending when you should have been, and there was all the excuses, same for Liverpool. Same for my club, by the way. You know, yes, I'm going, you spend big, Terry. We should be spending double what we're spending, but our club wastes money. End of the day, this is how big clubs behave. Where is the Chelsea cocky fans today? I'm not too sure where they are right now. Where is Don if we get our targets at? Listen, Don is going to have to do a lot of explaining. I'm going to have to bring him onto a show tomorrow just to do it. I was asleep. Terry, is this for real? Hijack of the season. Scousers wake up. Amrabat incoming. Let me say this to you now. I honestly, I want to get this from you guys in the comment section. I cannot think of a hijack more substantial, more epic than this. 110 million. 110 million pounds makes this one of the greatest hijacks ever. It's the British transfer record, for God's sakes. 2, Liverpool entered this race so late. Chelsea, and we've got to remember here, this is again the PR element of press here. All summer, the Chelsea press, it won't be more than 80. It won't be more than 80. It won't be more than 80. It's 30 million more than 80. Thirdly, you play each other in the opening weekend of the season, and potentially, he could play. He could play. And if he does, that story, that arc is the most epic hijack and maybe the most epic transfer I have ever seen in Premier League history, especially as it plays out now on social media. Phenomenal. And I hate praising Liverpool, but I will when things are good. Kill this Arsenal hype now, Terry. Liverpool is back. Listen, Caicedo will change a lot of things for this team. I think Caicedo is a phenomenal player. I am a little sad Man United will never sign him now. That's the bit that's most upsetting. If he went to Chelsea or Arsenal, there's always a chance. But It's never going to happen. He'll never be a Man United player. That's upsetting. Colossal piece of business. I still think there's some areas for Liverpool to fix. I still think they need to get a centre-back, but Liverpool are going to be far more competitive. I know Caicedo's only got 6 months more experience in the Prem than Lavia, but he's just got a grown man's head on his shoulders. And I'm talking on a footballing sense. I'm not talking about off the field. I have no idea about that. I'm talking purely football. This kid is a colossus. He really is. Liverpool did what Chelsea did to Arsenal. Very much so. What goes around comes around. Don had so much chest on the Top 6 show. He did. And KJ is probably asleep now, but them clips be coming. Them clips be coming. Jiggy here said, someone's losing their job, I swear. Chelsea poked the bear, and now we look like idiots. I want kudos tomorrow. Listen, I said this earlier on today. Both clubs ran the risk of being caught with their dicks in their hands. And that is what's happened to Chelsea right now. And listen, I understand that every Chelsea fan around the world is going to be fuming, angry, beside themselves. You were leading this race for so long. And look, Arsenal got it done as an example when it comes to Rice. But what have I been saying to Chelsea for weeks? You're in the water. You know there's a shark swimming around. Don't be that Russian guy. Get out the water. Get out the water. Collect, keep yourself intact, get your player and move on. And they didn't do it, Chelsea. They dilly-dallied and now they've had their legs chopped off. This changes nothing for me. This changes nothing as for me. Look at the last 10 years is what counts. Klopp must have threatened FSG. Listen, you guys should be investing more with what you've been winning. But I put out a tweet earlier on today, and it was a little bit tongue-in-cheek. And it was a little bit of a dig at everybody always putting Man United's figures in euros. But it's now coming to fruition in terms of spending. If you actually look at the spending over the last 3 years, I don't do this whole 5-6 windows thing, last 3 years, it's now getting, it's very close. By the way, if you spend, I think you're only about 30 to 40 million behind what Man United has spent in that time. I think you're pretty much on par. Like Chelsea has spent more than everybody. Then it's Arsenal. Then I think it's Man United and City. You guys are only a handful of millions behind. It's not like you haven't spent, but I think you should be spending even more. So I think you've got to demand it. You're not small spenders. You've got to remember, this is euros here. 70 million Szoboszlai, 42 McAllister, 42 Gakpo, 80 Nunes, 60 Diaz, 40 Konate. Now, in euros, 130 million that's going to probably equate to on Caicedo. Huge amounts of money that have been spent. But you've got to demand it on a regular basis. And when you hear from certain journalists who are spinning a line of austerity and the country's in a financial state and the club that can't morally do it, they're lying. They are the amount of money they've got, they can afford it, and it's a crazy thing that they lie so much. But a lot of our owners do. Just finished my milk round, Terry. Perfect timing. So glad Liverpool stole him from Chelsea. Revenge for Mudryk is what X has got to say here. Who will flop, Caicedo or Rice, considering the price tag? Listen, I rate both, so I'm not predicting either to flop. I really think both are brilliant. What I am also looking at right now is Man United might pick up Amrabat for around £22 million. That could be a steal, because I don't think they're that much better than him. And I think they're all brilliant. But, yeah, I don't think either are going to flop. A man like Don is in the mud. Yeah, he is. The biggest hijack of all time. Liverpool are back, is what Jermaine says here. Chelsea and Brighton seriously must hate each other. Maybe. I'm gutted, Terry, but 110 is too much. Let me ask you this question, Dan. You bid 100. What's 10 million more, really? Legit, what is 10 million more? I don't think it's that much more money to spend. He's going to score, isn't he? Can you imagine if he gets the... See, this would be football. Can you imagine Liverpool, 88th minute, 90th minute, winner, they win 2-1. Caicedo gets the winning goal. Honestly, that would... I know Chelsea fans will hate hearing that, but that is how football scripts are written. The only reason Liverpool will get him is they overpaid for him. If they would have bid the same amount as Chelsea, he would have chosen Chelsea 100%, is what Modest CFC has got to say. How do you feel about that, though? Do you feel let down by your club? Like, what's your take on that, my friend? I want to hear from you. Great signing for Liverpool. As for Kane, he shouldn't say no to Bayern. Well, Kane looks like he's going. Kane looks like he's going to be an Arsenal, a Bayern Munich player as of now, unless anybody comes in and hijacks that. So Kane leaving the Prem is good for everybody because it makes Tottenham weaker and a lot less dangerous. But Liverpool have just pulled off one of the signings of the decade. Rice still looks like a bargain for Arsenal now. I tell you what does look a bargain. £80 million for Tchouaméni. It really does. FSG tonight really showed guts in terms of turning things around from what Wednesday night was looking like. I hope this puts us in the right direction. Stephen, long time no see, my friend. Hope you're well. Hope you're doing good. We are going to bring Tom Little, Samuel, and a man like Neeks on very, very soon. I have been FSG out since 2019. It will take time for them to earn back my trust. Midfield should have been signed sooner, but Caicedo is a good start. For now, a DM, centre-back, and back Klopp every transfer window. I hear you there, David. I think you're right. Imagine the Brighton profits, 5 million out to 110. Yeah, they got 110 million for a man that costs 5 million. That is crazy business. At least Liverpool fans can now stop with the poor act. Yeah, Liverpool never been poor. Never been poor. Harry Kane is going by Munich. Terry, end of an era for Spurs. Good luck, Spurs legend. Listen, I tweeted earlier and wished him good luck. I tweeted him earlier and wished him good luck because from my point of view, I think that, yeah, he's a phenomenal player and, you know, he's going to kill it over there. But we'll talk more about that one tomorrow. Will United respond by getting a defender to replace Maguire and a midfielder for Fred and Donny? Yes. Man United are probably going to sign Amrabat. We're looking at a number of defenders to come in. So, look, United's having a good window. Look, as great as this move is by Liverpool, doesn't change how I feel about Manchester United. It doesn't make me jealous or anything of that nature. But, yeah, United will respond. Thanks, Saudi, for the 60 million for Hendo and Fabinho. You made this possible. Yeah, they did. They did help make it possible. And suddenly Liverpool fans have not all, and not you lot in the comments, but a lot of the weird ones online, you know, the ones I'm talking about, suddenly no moral objection to 50 to 60 million pounds that comes from that part of the world. Funny that. That's why I say to people, stop your virtue signaling nonsense and keep your mouth shut. Terry, I'm glad you've gone live right now. Happy that Liverpool hijacked the Caicedo deal from Chelsea. Great signing for Liverpool. This hijack was worse than the Mudryk one. I'm a bit jealous as an Arsenal fan. Yeah, I can understand feeling a little jealous about it because it's, as you say, it's a phenomenal piece of business. He's an impeccable football player, and nobody ever really wants to see their rival strengthen like that. I've always said we shouldn't go to 100 million, 80 to 90 max. I hear you. You've been very consistent, Dan, to be fair. You've always been very consistent. But the fact your club bid 100, I don't see how 10 million more makes too big a difference. But you have signed Tyler Adams. Do you know what I'm saying? So at least Tyler Adams is there. David and Matt are joining us as well. Chelsea fans coming on, but we don't know where Don is. I think Don's gone to bed. Sleep well, Donny boy. Sleep well. Look, we're going to bring a panel out for you now. Everyone hit that like button for us. Let's get this past 1,000 likes while we're live on the air, please. Let's get that done. Time for the panel. Let's go. Welcome back, boys. I'm going to go to Tom Little first. You were in tears last night. You were angry at your club. 24 hours later, we're streaming again late at night. And you've just pulled off the biggest signing in Premier League football history, the biggest hijack in maybe football history. How are you feeling right now?
It's one of them ones where I don't think it's really sunk in because Liverpool don't normally do this. That is the final piece that this midfield needed. 100% it is. And it's even sweeter the way we've got it done. The way that Chelsea tried to be all smart and put in 48 million for Lavia and, you know, we'll get him on the cheap and we'll unsettle this, that, and then we've just basically snatched their chain today, took their top target they spent 2 months negotiating for in 12 hours. That's the way serious football clubs operate. That's how you get it over the line. I know Fabrizio's just said, like, it's still not done, that there could still be a late change or something. Ultimately, I want to believe that it's all done. I want to believe that the saga was done. It was an auction that was held with the midnight deadline. I don't know why they'd set a midnight deadline if they're just going to change if they're just going to allow bids after the deadline. But who knows?
There's never a deadline, Tom. When there's money on the line, there's never a deadline.
Maybe, but all I know is the 6 a.m. train from London to Liverpool, Avanti West Coast. Get him on the first one. I don't care if it's 200 quid. Get him on that first train down to us. Get that medical done ASAP. I don't think he's gonna make the I don't think he's gonna make the next one. I don't think he's gonna make the Chelsea game because I think he needs to be registered by.
It's midday tomorrow. He's got to be registered. The only way they get that done is if literally he's having his medical at like 6 a.m. in the morning and he can get signed. But the thing is, we've seen people on deadline day do everything and get registered by like within 3 or 4 hours. You probably could get it done if you could get his. You don't even need him in Liverpool. Just send people. You can do the medicals in London, sign the paperwork in London, and get him registered. But yeah, maybe he won't play. But I don't suppose that's the most important thing, to be fair. But sorry, go on, carry on, mate.
Oh, apparently we're doing all the documents now. It's 2:29 a.m. and we're that worried. We're doing all the documents now. We're going to have some poor members of staff at Liverpool who have not slept in 24 hours because they're writing up some documents for Moises Caicedo sign. It's a big statement from us, really. It's a big statement. That, to me, completes the midfield. Having McAllister and Caicedo together, that's chemistry. You add in the fact that you got Szoboszlai in there, that's your attacking side of things. To me, bringing in Caicedo signals that it is a statement of intent to stick with this box system, this 3-box-3 with Trent and Verton. But we have the potential to do the funniest thing on Sunday and bring him to Stamford Bridge with us after Chelsea's supposed dream was to have him unveiled at Sunday at Stamford Bridge. If we bring him along, that just makes it even better. But buzzing with the I don't think he's worth 110 million, but I don't think many players who move nowadays are worth the money. So
yeah, but this is the thing. Like I don't know. I'm so bored of saying it. I've been saying it for 5 years. Whenever you see the kind of base rate for players rise, it's because the money in football keeps increasing. So therefore, the players' value will. And in another 5 years, players that are now costing 30 million will be 60 million, and it will just keep increasing. David, as a Chelsea fan, how are you feeling about this? There was an air of confidence that you would get this deal done, and now Liverpool have, all the journalists have called Matt Law out, and people that said he was lying earlier on today, he's spot on.
I mean, when I saw Matt Law's tweet, I was never confident. I put it in the group chat. There's evidence of me being like, with Liverpool involved, this becomes a lot. This isn't easy to do.
I can confirm that he did. You did put it in the group chat.
And 110 mil is I think is a wild overpay for this player. But I mean, to get it done, I mean, fair play to them. However, there is this bit of me that's like, this isn't over. Just because the way that it's been talked about, I really don't think that Chelsea is just going to let 100 mil just like slide. I do see us trying to match the offer and then seeing what happens. I don't think it's over personally, but in its current state, it's very embarrassing for Chelsea, especially considering you spent 3 months trying to negotiate down from 80 mil, only in the last week to go up to 90 mil, only then to be like, okay, fine, we'll pay the 100. Only for another club to come in and pay 110. It's really stupid. You could have done 100 mil a couple months ago and it would have been all sorted. So,
well, this is where it becomes fans have been arguing all summer about, is it right to haggle or just pay the price? And again, I don't think it's a polarized basic answer, but there are times where, as you're getting nearer and nearer to this deadline, where it becomes more precarious, there's more scarcity. They should have just got this done. If it had been 100 million 3 weeks ago, before Liverpool completed their deals, this would be over the line now, and they'd be well away. So yeah, I totally get it. Matt, do you agree with David? Do you feel kind of let down by Chelsea in this circumstance, or do you feel there's still a sting in the tail here? Because Fabrizio has said it's not over. So, like, how are you feeling about it right now?
This is an embarrassment for Chelsea. I was just saying before, this is an absolute embarrassment. I mean, we've failed this deal. And for me, it's about pride. 110 million, that's a lot of money. It's Todd Bowie. Sorry. Excuse me, I'm a bit sick. But is Todd Bowie going to go and bid for that more? I don't think so. I think we're not going to do that. I think we're going to move on and go to our next target. But this is an embarrassment for the board because The evaluation was always 100 million. If you stop playing around and just put 100 million on the table and said, hey, back in July, in June, and say, here's 100 million, let's buy him out. But it's fine. They negotiated, they went 80, 90, whatever. And then today is when they put the 100 million in. Right before Liverpool put 110. So why don't we go and put that 100 million a couple months ago? I believe if we put 100 million and bought the evaluation price a couple months ago, we would have got him. Simple. But now we're going to go for other players like Lavia, who are other players like Kudos probably coming in. I don't think that at the level as Caicedo is. I think Caicedo is the best DM on the market. I said we'll get Caicedo. I was very confident we're going to get Caicedo. We flopped on getting him. Fabrizio obviously just said, open window, come in, there's still a chance. I doubt we do it. But for the pride of Chelsea, for the reputation of Chelsea, you have to go and get him. You have to spend that money. I'm sorry. For me, it's an extra 12, 13 million, but it's for that pride of Chelsea. This is a player we want. It's not, for me, I don't control the money. It's not my money. I'm not going to sit and say, don't spend it. I'm going to say, go and spend that money. Go and spend that money. I want that player. I'm going to be selfish. I want that player. Get me that player. We need that player. It's what I want. We need that player because this guy will drive our DMs and allow Enzo to play better because now we failed Enzo this summer. This summer was about supporting Enzo. We failed him now. We didn't have a DM for him. So we'll see what happens with that now, but I doubt we do anything. It's actually quite embarrassing because we did that for Mudryk. We got Mudryk, 80 million, whatever. We did all that. But we're not doing it for Caicedo. I mean, it's an extra bit of money and it's different principles to it, but come on, man. I don't know. I want Caicedo.
I hear you there. So, I'm going to go to Neeks and Staffy in a minute from a neutral point of view. Samuel, from your perspective, as a Liverpool fan, how are you feeling about this? Again, after you were very frustrated last night regarding the Lavia news, how do you feel about this?
Terry, I suffered that Wednesday night. To only have this come to me, I still can't believe this. We actually put the money down. I've always said that Liverpool always had the money, but we choose not to spend it. And that's what I think it caught Chelsea fans out because even before this, Chelsea fans were panicking on Twitter and stuff like that. And I was like, it's caught you out because the whole rhetoric was that Liverpool don't have money. We are broke. We are broke. We are broke. No, Liverpool have money. We choose not to spend it. It's not like we didn't have the 50 million to pay for Lavia. It's that we didn't see him at the valuation of 50 million. Now we're going in for Caicedo. We put 110 million, which again, I'm going to keep the same energy. It is overpriced, but I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn.
Mate, listen, I agree. The whole notion that Liverpool broke is just utterly ridiculous. Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by Don. I don't know if he's going to turn his camera on or not. Man might be laying in bed or something. Might be in a dark room crying. But Don, you said the money wouldn't be a problem and you would get the man. How are you feeling now that Liverpool have gone and broke the English transfer record, blown you out the water, and as of right now, look like they're getting him?
Listen, I'm surprised. I am surprised. I said this literally earlier today that I did not expect Liverpool to come in and outmuscle Chelsea financially. It's just so embarrassing because we've taken so long, like I've been saying, so long to negotiate, going back and forth, dilly-dallying, and it's clear to see that Tony Bloom hasn't been budging. He has not been budging. So these guys should have realized that, you know what, we need to pay up the money now because another team could still come in. Do you know what I mean? The Premier League, the openers coming real soon. Another team could just come in, and that's exactly what's happened. We've left the door wide open for another team to come in. So, listen, if Liverpool do end up getting him and we don't come back with another bid, I have to hold that. I have to hold that because I put my chest out there. I said, Liverpool don't scare me because, history will tell you that Liverpool don't want to splash out the way that Chelsea would, in situations like this. So for me, I've been saying it. This is one of the worst negotiations that I've seen my whole time of watching football. This has to go down as one of the worst. I don't even care if it's my club. I'm just being real with it. This has to be one of the worst, naive, slow negotiations I've ever seen. It's an absolute joke. It was a one-horse race, pretty much. One-horse race, pretty much, and we messed it up. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's peak. I'm rattled right now. Obviously, I've seen the quotes that have come out from Pius about Fabrizio. Chelsea aren't giving up yet. We'll see what we bounce back with, but we're gonna have to come back with another crazy bid. We're gonna have to come back with another crazy bid.
No, you're going to have to. A few people saying that Fabrizio has not said, here we go. And I understand that. But David Ornstein has said, and I'll quote him now directly, Liverpool reached an agreement with Brighton to sign Moises Caicedo for the British record 110 million. Brighton held an auction using midnight deadlines, what he's said. Liverpool, the highest bidder, Chelsea at 100 million. Personal terms, a formality plus medical plan for Friday. Now, David Ornstein, the guy barely mentions a transfer that doesn't happen. So for him to be like put out there like personal terms of formality, the only way I see this changing now is if you guys come back in and match or outbid Liverpool. But I just don't know if that's going to happen now.
We have a rebuttal bid, Terry. I think there's a chance we have a rebuttal bid, but I don't think we're going to do that rebuttal bid. So
right.
I think it's pretty much over.
It's crazy. Neeks, obviously, from your point of view, looking at this, it's obviously not good because Liverpool are much bigger rivals to us and they're signing a star. But what's your kind of take and reaction to this whole situation, mate?
It's a bittersweet. It's bittersweet because the bitterness is that Liverpool could potentially be back. They could be challenging for a title this season. They've got potentially elite forward line. We know they've got world-class, at least one world-class player there, and quality elsewhere, potential elsewhere. If they get Caicedo, as it looks like, that midfield looks ready to go. If it clicks, you got Caicedo and McAllister already got that chemistry. And with the youth exuberance on the side of the three of them, it looks like it could go. If they get another centre-back, which they desperately need as backup, then for me, there's no excuse for them not to challenge for a league title next year. Klopp is a world-class manager, top 3, top 2 in the world. So there's no excuse. That's the bitter part because I don't want Liverpool anywhere near a league title. But the sweet part is hopefully tomorrow I see the look on Don's face. I want to hear Ches in the group chat because the cockiness of the Chelsea fans for weeks and weeks and weeks that this deal it's only a matter of time. It's inevitable. You're not Thanos. The lies that have been spun by Chelsea fans in protecting their ownership ever since they've been there from last summer. We've changed direction now. We're doing better in January. We've got people that know what they're doing just to deflect from the realities of Chelsea Football Club. Igal was right. You're a mess. There's a lot going on there that ain't going right. The excitement that somehow you think you're going to be back with Poch now and all these young players and, I saw them in pre-season. You ain't got a clue about these players. You've never seen them before they played a few friendlies this summer. And now you ain't getting your main target after being outbid by Liverpool. Did Liverpool outbid anyone? I don't remember the last time Liverpool. This is embarrassing. And as much as it hurts me that Liverpool are the beneficiaries of this, Chelsea fans need this. They need this humbling. So I don't want it to go through, but it kind of needs to go through just to bring some equilibrium back. You lot just need to, humble yourself.
The only way, listen, what these lot can do right now to redeem themselves is come back with another bid, right? And we deserve that as a fan base because you lot have
No, you don't. No, you know what? Stop. No, wait, stop. Stop. One second.
How long? Go on.
You don't deserve it. You stole Modric. You paid over the odds on Enzo. You took Willian off Spurs' medical table. Essien, Robben, check. Ballack, they're supposed to be Man United players. Mikel, you took him out of a Man United shirt. You don't deserve nothing but what's happening right now. I'm not hearing it. Chelsea fans need this humbling. It's just a shame that Liverpool's going to benefit from it. But you got to hold that. You have to.
Do not group all of us together. Don,
every last one. That David, the Chelsea fan that was just born a second ago, they need it. They need this humbling. It's a useful life lesson that they don't even know they ain't learned yet. Listen, all of you can hold that. All of you.
I'm gonna go to Staffy in a minute. I want to do some more of these super chats. There's a lot have come through. I want to respect the viewers have done it. Nearly 4,000 people watching at nearly 3 a.m. in the morning. So hit like buttons. Make sure you're all subscribing. Caicedo is a yes to every team. I love it. Listen, I've been saying listen. the element of like loyalty in football is crazy. Clubs are less loyal than players. When you look how we all treat Deadwood at our clubs when they're loyal to us, no one ever cares. So yeah, he's a hoe, but they're all hoes. Chelsea fans were insufferable, ambitious. My foot is what Daniel says here. Natty says, why was Bellingham not signed? As a United fan, I'm so baffled by Liverpool because he wanted Real Madrid. Like sometimes it's impossible to sign somebody. It's impossible. It's like saying, Terry, why didn't you marry Beyonce? She didn't want to. She don't even know I am. But that's why I didn't do it, because she'd say no. If she were available and was like, oh, I really like this Terry Fluid guy on YouTube, maybe it would have happened. But it didn't. And there's nothing I can do about it. Chelsea have been mudricked. I like that. That's a good super chat. Bad business, 110 million. Bellingham would have been 110 million. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but he wanted Real Madrid. Chelsea put in a bid in for Lavia, ruined them. Liverpool's ownership took it personally. Remember, though, I will defend Chelsea here. When Matt Law, who was the guy that broke all this news, he said that Liverpool had bid first for Caicedo. Chelsea bidding for Lavia was the response. We only heard about the Lavia bid first. So it was the other way around in terms of that, my friends. I want to be fair there to Chelsea in terms of the story here. Chelsea got a taste of their own medicine. Arsenal got hijacked by Chelsea last year for Chelsea to then be hijacked by Liverpool. Karma is a number one. Chelsea have been hijacking players for decades. Caicedo is going to be a problem, is what Ryan says. Ryan says here, you're right. Going to come back to more of these super chats. But Staffy, you were obviously you bantered Liverpool a lot last night. And you know what I've been talking about for months on here? The football gods, they came out of the sky and they said, you shall not pass. And then suddenly, big up Gandalf, and Liverpool pull off one of the most spectacular pieces of transfer business when you look at the whole story in English football history.
By the way, Fabrizio tweeted again. They're saying in the comments if you want to check it while I speak. But listen, I am here because I promised Samuel yesterday, and and both of them are not here anyways. But Sam and Tom Little, they said, would you be back here if things changed? And I said, of course I would. I didn't know my rent was going to last 24 hours only, But listen, unlike Chelsea, I saw an opportunity and I took it. My opportunity was to make fun of Liverpool yesterday, and I made fun of them yesterday. Chelsea had a whole summer to sign Caicedo, and they didn't. They dilly-dallied for a whole summer. By the way, I messaged Don. Don is here right now because I forced him out of his bed. I was like, I better see you on the terrace because I'll be on it right now. Okay. I told Don, I was like, you know what you guys just did? I was like, you're just like a guy at the club who's eyeing a chick. The chick is looking back at him, kind of flirting with him, and you didn't make a move. And you kept waiting and waiting and waiting until one guy came in, bought her a drink, and she went with him. That's what Chelsea did. They did all the legwork, and then Liverpool just came in, and they were like, how much you been arguing about? 100 mil? Here you go, 110. And what's more embarrassing about it is that Chelsea, after the whole summer of refusing to pay it 100 mil, they actually bid 100 mil, and it still wasn't enough. So it would have been enough during the summer, but they chose not to. So as Neeks said it, I don't think anyone deserves it more than Chelsea, because they basically got Chelsea today by Liverpool. This move today is not typical Liverpool. Liverpool don't come in and just dunk on someone like that and just pay the money. It's usually Chelsea. They did the same thing to Mudryk and Arsenal. When Arsenal did all the legwork, they knew how much the fee was, and then Chelsea just came in and paid the fee. So as much as I don't like Liverpool, I have to tell them good job. They did what was supposed to be done. Yes, we know the fee's over. It's a little bit too much. He is being overpaid for. Yes, I get that. But we can say that about a few players this summer have been overvalued. But at the end of the day, Liverpool identified an issue. They saw an opportunity and they took it. They acted like a big club and they paid the money. They put the money on the table and they're taking the player, and there's nothing that can happen. So as much as I hate them, I got to give them respect for what they did. Everyone who's in the comments telling me Staffy's quiet today, I got to give people an opportunity to talk first. And then when it's my time to talk, I can talk. So I'm here to give them the respect that I didn't give them yesterday. But that's how football is. Terry always says the football gods, listen, the football gods dunked on Chelsea's head, not me. People were saying I'm crying. I'm not crying. At the end of the day, I don't really care. I mean, I'm upset that he went to Liverpool, but it doesn't really affect me. They're the
Yeah,
ones
like,
that left without
I
DM.
think it would hurt Man United fans more if we were having a bad summer. Seeing
We're
him
having a
do
good
this.
summer, and we were in for him. So you know,
No, I agree. In
Can,
terms
can,
of
I, can I just say quickly before I go?
of course, can, bro.
I
Go on,
have
mate.
to say, like I said it about Enzo, I said it about Rice, and I think it's only right. 100 million for a defensive midfielder is crazy. It's crazy. And I'm not going to move away from that. I get the market is what it is. But when you actually consider that the 3 best defensive midfielders in the league cost less than 70 million, Casemiro, Rodri, and Partey. For Rice, Enzo, and Caicedo to go for over 100 million plus, we're talking 100 plus 5, 106 for Enzo, 110, is crazy. I'm just saying, for the sakes of those 3 clubs, it better work, because if it doesn't, I will be here. Trust me.
it can't, Neeks, because not all of them can win the league now.
Do you know
One
what,
of them
though?
is going to be looked at as a failure.
Well, the reason why, I get where you're coming from. I think that's 2023 social media football fans. Gerrard's looked at as one of the greatest midfielders ever, and he never won a Premier League. So you can be brilliant without winning the league. But I think because of those 3 players you mentioned, Neeks, that's why all these top quality DMs are costing so much money, because these players are seen as just, strikers have always been seen as integral. There's something about the DM role. There's something that's so fashion. They've always been important. Go back just 20 years, how good the Makalelis were, how important Hargreaves was, and other players like that. But they've become very fashionable. And with fashion comes money. And I think it's all kind of coincided at the same sort of time, really. It is crazy. But what Fabrizio has said, he says, on Caicedo, Chelsea late night bid for Moises Caicedo was up to 100 million package. Liverpool is a British record at 110 package accepted by Brighton. Brighton's board was clear. The player will be sold at the end of Thursday to the highest bidder. And then what went on to be said, and I just want to read this out, is Chelsea still want to try and sign Caicedo, but the player has already been verbally sold to Liverpool. That is what he stated. What I think is interesting here for me, and I'm only reading between the lines here, it sounds like Chelsea thought that'd be enough, like Liverpool maybe wouldn't match them. And it's almost like, oh God, they've outbid us. And that's the game you play when you let others get involved, like Liverpool. And again, Liverpool are attractive. And I know, and we said it earlier, Don, like if Liverpool have got the money, you even said it yourself, Klopp has got that pull, over your manager. And it was only the money that was going to stop them. Neil O'Callaghan here with the super chat says, I thought there was a report stating that Liverpool pulled out before Bellingham made a decision, which surprises the players' entourage and family who wanted Liverpool, although I'll admit I might be wrong. I hear what you're saying, Neil. I'm not popping at Liverpool. I say this about Man United transfers. Generally, when you've been chasing a player for many months or years and then suddenly you pull out, and then the reason that you claim you pull out is because it's too expensive, but then you drop the same amount of money on somebody else, tells me you got rejected. And that's not a dig at Liverpool. It's happened to all of our clubs. That's just my take on football transfers, personally. McAllister and Caicedo, Baker Cake, and I've just realized, well, they literally bought that Brighton midfield. They've literally bought that Brighton midfield. I just clocked that. I didn't even think about it. Where's Don and his chest? It's peak for Chelsea, is what Laka says here.
Listen, Laka, my chest is deflated, bro. My chest is deflated. You know what I mean? I put these guys, I trusted them because Mudryk, they got that wrapped. Enzo, they got that wrapped. I had no reason to not doubt them for how we were moving and all the groundwork that we did. And like I said, Liverpool they're not a club that spend like this. So no one expected this. But I'm a man. Listen, I can hold my hands up. I can hold that. Do you know what I mean? I can hold it. Pause.
I hear you, bro.
But the thing is,
we're going to call you Two-Backer. That's what we're going to call you for a while. Sorry, go on, Matty boy. So you were saying something.
Sorry, no good. I think the thing is for me that pisses Chelsea fans off is just the time we spent. He was our number one priority, and he spent 3 months, jerking around with him, going all around about just to not get him. That's the one thing that pissed me off. The money is not a problem. If you got up here, that's fine. But I will keep saying, and I'm going to keep saying this for the rest of my life. If Chelsea put 100 million a month ago, he would have been a Chelsea player now. But we did with David. We tried to negotiate. We didn't get it. We're not going to get it now. I
totally agree. And you also look at the situation with Declan Rice. You should have put the money down for him a year, 2 years ago.
No, that's fine. That's fine about Declan. We don't want Declan.
That's because you don't rate him personally.
Yeah,
You're
no,
in
I'm
your,
joking,
you're in your feelings. I'm just saying, like, this is the thing. Liverpool did it with Bellingham. Just get it done. When you delay things in life, you always run the risk of the situation changing.
Yeah. What makes it worse though, Terry, is the fact that we've actually put the 100 million down that they wanted anyway. Do you know what I mean? That's what makes it worse. So
Bro,
we've just done it to ourselves.
Bro, I hear you 110%. Sometimes it's I think Man United did it with Gakpo. We spent the whole of December and January trying to negotiate the price down for Liverpool to come in and pay it. Where if we'd have just turned around, again, I don't think we walked away because of monetary reasons. I think we walked away because he said no. If we'd have just gone, boom, there's your 37, 38 million in the beginning of the January, we'd have got the guy. And we'd have had an even better season with Gakpo than we did with Weghorst. But we just farted about. Terry, to be fair, if you look back at the last 15 seasons, every Premier League winning team has had a world-class or in and around world-class DM. So it's really important. Now, I hear you. It's always been important, like I said, but it's become fashionable. It's spoken about so much more now. One of the most integral players in Fergie's last great Man United team was Michael Carrick, but he was looked at as an also-run. Like, there's only been a handful of DMs up until recently that were looked at as like stars in the Premier League. Claude Makélélé, but that's because he came in as a star. Most of the DMs at clubs were never the star of their team. They weren't even like, look at the way Jorginho was treated at Chelsea. But when they at Chelsea were at their best, it's when he was performing. And I don't think he's one of the best in the league. But when he was at his best, it's when Chelsea were at their best recently. When N'Golo Kante was at his best, he was celebrated quite a bit, but it was always other people that were the stars. Suddenly, DMs are stars now. It's kind of interesting. Liverpool are outside Champions League favour. Oh, wait, it's Thursday nights for them lot. Lol. Yeah, but I don't think right now Liverpool fans are going to care about that at all. Can we have the Staffy and Don clips from the last video? I'll get KJ. It's too late. I was asleep when this broke. We'll find them. We'll find them. Even though it's to Liverpool, 110 million price was money well spent to put the Chelsea in their place. Now we have to deal with Hussam. Shake my head. Well, listen, me and Hussam, 3:30 tomorrow afternoon. That's about 12 hours time. We will be live, and I'm sure he will be cooking. So make sure you're all tuning into that. I want you
make sure to ask him if he's FSG out. Just please make sure to ask him that.
Of course I will. Brighton has the chance to do the funniest thing. They certainly do. Well, by the way, it's been so crazy this deal. Can you imagine we all go back to sleep now? You wake up in the morning and Chelsea have outbid them. That would just be...
This is what I'm hoping for.
I'll
be
you know it is, you know it is though, yeah. I know Fabrizio's saying that the fee's been verbally confirmed, but technically nothing's been signed yet. Do you know what I mean? Nothing's been signed yet. So I'm just hanging on. You know, this guy's a businessman.
I've had hope all summer about Kane. Literally, I was getting ready to get into bed, brush my teeth, wash my face, and then I saw the news that he's agreed terms with Bayern Munich, and just a slight little tear ran down my face. I know how you feel, bro. And you guys actually had a chance of getting your guy. You text Liverpool's gal, and they blew your gal's back. Oh, damn.
About Lavia, he means. Yeah.
That's funny. FSG heard Hussam's rant and had enough of it. Yeah, they did. Tad here says, Terry, what are you doing awake at this time? You are a madman. I'm off to work at the airport. The work rate is unmatched. I appreciate you saying that, but listen, you're up at this time going to work as well. So why shouldn't I be? Do you know what I'm saying? And look, I appreciate you praising the work ethic, but everyone should have work ethic. It's weird. Like my kids my kids can be anything they want to be in life. There's not much that would make me upset about them. They ain't got no work ethic. That's probably worse than them telling me they're Liverpool fans. If I'm being honest with you, they're gone. They're out of the house. No laziness in my house. Rice, Partey, Odegaard, or Caicedo, McAllister, and Szoboszlai. Listen, I'm going to go with. Listen, hear me out on this, Liverpool fans, before you get angry. I'm going with Rice, Partey, Odegaard because I've seen two of them play. I know them all better. Szoboszlai, he's unproven to me personally. What I've read's good. Does that make sense? If he's as good, though, as what I've read, that's a very good debate. But for me, I would just go with Arsenal's right now. But the potential of Liverpool's is massive. Massive is what I'd say to that. Sorry, been busy with work. Wow, still FSG out is what Samuel says here. Thank you very much, bro. I appreciate that. Look, I am going to end the stream now because I'm going to get back to bed. I don't know if I'll be able to sleep now. I put a movie on and just like zone out. Viewers, please hit the like button before you leave. I want to say congratulations to Liverpool. Commiserations to Chelsea. We'll be back with more transfer news for you tomorrow. And by the way, people, the Premier League kicks off tomorrow. Football's back as well. Couldn't be better. Until next time, my people, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again soon. Peace.